You're listening to Am I the Bolcast, the only Magic the Gathering podcast that you're listening to right now. It's your boy, Mikey. It's me, Mike Carosa. I'm your host. And today we're doing another interview episode, which means it's just me and our guest. Before we introduce our guest, I'm going to do a real quick sponsor take. Real quick. Sorry to keep you waiting, guest. But check this shit out. It's going to be real quick. Our sponsors for today are cardsphere.com. Cardsphere, get your cards here. We're recording this on pre-release weekend for Strixhaven and Secrets of Strixhaven. And you know the first place you got to check is Cardsphere. You're going to find a bunch of cards you're looking for that people don't know what to do with. They're like, hey, this one's not for me. I really would rather trade this away and find something that I want. And guess what? People are ready to give you a decent deal. You're going to find some copies of uncommons that are probably going to be worth a lot of money because the play booster era is a nightmare. You're going to be able to find whatever you need around pre-release season. It's the best time to be at Cardsphere. Cardsphere.com. Use the referral link in the description of the episode. Shout out to Cardsphere. Get your cards here. But also, boneboxgames.com, another sponsor of the program. Please use promo code Bolcast when checking out at boneboxgames.com for a little something off your deck box purchases. And I can't wait to see the new thing that they're working on. Shout out to Evan, Jesse. I miss you guys. I wish I could travel down to the United States of America so I could be participating in all these Magic Cons, but alas, fascism. Anyway, that's
Wait, you
enough.
can say that?
Am I not allowed to call it what it is?
Yeah, what it is? Oh, yeah. No kidding.
Yeah, just a nightmare. Our guest today is Cole from the Heroes Blade Vibe Check and MTG Lexicon. Hey, buddy.
Hey,
Thanks
man.
for coming on.
It's
been a while.
Yeah, it's only been like Check's notes, like 3 weeks, not even, or something like that. Like,
for us, we hang out often. We chat all the time, but you haven't been on the podcast since the first Heroes Blade Vibe Check hang, and it was us with Quinn.
Yeah. It was It was with Quinn. It was back at the end of the episode came out at the end of 2024 when at some point we had recorded earlier because timing versus like
we'd
editing.
banked all these.
Yeah, no,
it was early days.
We are coming. Quinn and I pretty much played softball that episode. It was really funny in retrospect. We're like, am I the bolus for playing like some light stacks with like blind obedience, Thalia, Heretic Cathar, maybe play like a Deafening Silence, and you're like,
but it sounds like you've got a doozy this time around.
Oh, we got to work our way up to it, man.
Oh, yeah? You don't want to dive right in?
No, okay. Because you know what? This guy, Mike Carosa here, funny guy, thinks he's so funny. He comes into my podcast with a soundboard that's like 2 or 3 times the volume of himself, and then just goes, I'm gonna do the sound bits. I'm gonna play my intro and outro music on your podcast. Yeah. I'm like, wait, you can just do that? And the answer is, yeah, you can do whatever the you want when you come on. It's great.
Sorry, Ken.
Oh yeah, whoops, sorry, Ken. Hey, we still gotta do that because.
No, we messed around because if you don't listen, first of all, if you don't listen to the Heroes Blade Vibe Check, I don't know what you're doing. I really think it's like one of the best podcasts out there for Magic. It's not just about Magic. You get some video game stuff. Cole, like, there's segments where like Cole goes through what he's read and watched over the weeks, and because it's bi-weekly.
Yeah.
And a lot of talk about Magic articles, kind of get it like, maybe you read an article and you didn't get much from it, but then Cole synthesizes it and goes, hey, did you miss this part or something? It's a lot of fun. Or maybe you discover some people through it. It's been a lot of fun to listen to the Heroes Blade Vibe Check. Not just for that. I love listening to you guys talk about video games off the talk. Will admit that sometimes I skip that part because I'm not interested in all the video games you talk about. But that's what it's there for.
Well,
but then you got Brews Off the Shelf, and friggin' Quinn is always doing something nasty and doing music. Listen to the Heroes Blade Vibe Check. Listen to it.
Yeah. No, I even recently I was just in a chat with Quinn and some other people, the Benoit, the lovely Medusa, Indominus Lux and some other people. And I was like, we were talking about work ethic recently in terms of people in the Magic sphere. And I'm like, like I kind of like, I'm like not that person or whatever. And they're like, well, I mean, yes, you put out like a feature length film per episode in length, like per podcast. But like then I on the one hand, I try to make the episodes as easy to listen to as possible in terms of the content, what the stuff that we're bringing to the table, other people are bringing to the table. But I also can't deny that when an episode is like 3.5 hours long, and you're like, what the fuck do two people have to talk about Magic the Gathering? And then we're like, well, have you seen what we are up to in Magic the Gathering lately? Like Secrets of Strixhaven is out right now, and it seems to be.
You gotta apologize to Ken before you get too far from it. You said the word.
Sorry, Ken. Wow, I am way behind. You see, that's the other thing. We don't have someone bleeping us out over on the Heroes Blade Vibe Check because we don't care. Say whatever we want.
I mean, honestly, I think it's just more for the bit that we're bleeping at this point.
Yes, it's a continuously funny bit, and that's the whole thing too about Heroes Blade Vibe Check.
To Ken is part of the DNA
is
of the
the
show.
bit, right?
Apologies.
Like, I don't know. Ken. Whatever. Think about you and me, Mike. Let's think about Am I the Bolcast from where you started to where you are now. Like, very different beast than where Quinn and I are now. Like, and sometimes it takes a while to hit your stride. Some flexibility to get
out what you want with it, all that stuff. Yeah,
because some people are gonna show up and be like, hey, yeah, by the way, Cole, I did end up skipping this part because one, I don't care about the video games. I only want to care about the Magic, and that's fine because we're doing our thing for ourselves. And sometimes there's some timestamps, but there's not because I don't edit that much. And it'd be like, okay, skip ahead by about an hour. Once you get to the Empress Quinn track of the episode, which, by the way, hey, shout out to Empress Quinn, aka DJ Space Girl, for literally like composing and producing music like really often.
Real bangers on there.
Big things happening very soon when Quinn gets not SoundCloud, Bandcamp album on the way. The artwork is, I'm probably spoiling too much, but Quinn's made the art. Nice. We got track lists up. Now it's just a matter of Quinn actually like hitting the buttons so you can pay to get a sick ass Empress Quinn like album. So yeah, like we're both bringing stuff to the table, and then when I hit enter and put it on the internet, the episode is literally like, oh, it's like 3.5 hours. Why is that? Oh, Mike Carosa snuck into the booth.
Hang on a second. We have to explain the fact that on Heroes Blade Vibe Check, there's a podcast within the podcast called Smoking Mids.
Oh man, thank you, though.
Smoking Mids. So now the current tenure of Smoking Mids is hosted by Lenny Woolley, and at this point they've only traded on. Lenny is only traded off with Quinn and Cole, and I think Ben did one.
No, not yet. Benoit hasn't done it yet. We've asked him. We'll have to wait and see when and if we line that up. But so far, for the very brief period that we brought it back. The trade-off is us.
I did a prank.
You did a little sneaky, but not so sneaky prank.
Well, okay, so I'll tell the story. I was in Vancouver. My girlfriend and I were there for a wedding for like a month, and I just got to hang out with Cole so much, and it ruled. And I got to play games and to meet all the people there that play Magic with Cole. And honestly, like, there's a good chance that we're moving out there, right? So it's like, oh, I kind of want to get some of my bearings and get a feel for what this could be like living out here and all that stuff. So I really appreciate Cole. Thank you so much for helping me with getting that vibe. But while we were hanging out at the pub the first night with all the Magic folks, and your podcast came up and Smoking Mids came up, and I was like, ooh, fun prank idea. So I go to the bathroom and I text Lenny. I say, hey, we're gonna surprise Cole with an episode of Smoking Mids with me and you. How about we talk about like a block from old Magic and just like pick a bunch of cards, and I'll be Quinn, so I'm gonna get high like crazy on that episode.
High as hell.
Okay, we'll get there. And then I can't keep a secret, so I came right to the table and I said, hey Cole, Lenny and I are gonna surprise you with an episode. It's a surprise, so don't know about it. And you're like, wait, what are you talking about? And I said, surprise, don't shut up.
It's a surprise for you, but you don't know about it. Wink.
Yeah. and then I when I finally recorded with Lenny was like, hey, did Cole know? And I was like, yeah, I'm really bad at secrets. He was like, so I'm actually the one that got
the
surprised
last one to know.
I've been keeping it secret from him and playing real dumb for a little bit.
He was like, silent.
Whoopsie.
Like we got, again, like, because we're in the space of like, okay, we got 20 little group chats with a bunch of people, but this one's the one between the three of us for Smoking Mids. The podcast is a podcast because what's funnier?
Mhm.
Why release an episode when you could just click it in
Yeah.
like a puzzle piece in the structure of what you got going on and be like, cool. And then he's like, so I message him, and like we've told this story on the episode. Then you guys told, you told your side
version of it. Yeah,
but I'm like, so I reach out to Lenny and I'm like, Lenny, is there hey, you recording an episode? And he's like,
no.
and I'm like, cause if if someone was coming on and I didn't know about it, and he's like, what do you know? And Quinn's like, whomst? Like, what is going on?
Quinn
right?
doesn't
Like
know.
Quinn sometimes, like, I sent the snip. Like I like when I was editing you guys together and tweaked everything before I like dragged and dropped it in the other like Audacity window to like put it in. And I'm like, oh, hey, check out the timestamp of what I got to work with. And I sent like it was an hour and however many minutes. And Quinn's just like, what? And I'm like, all right, better lock the fuck in because I got to get to work. All right.
Apologize to our editor, Ken, the sweet man.
This is okay, Ken. I'm really sorry. You're working overtime. Mike's making me work overtime for getting too into the swing of things. Everyone's gonna come and be like, "Cole, you're not playing the game. The whole point." Like, all right, fine, I'll play the game. God damn it, sorry, Ken.
Do it again.
But this time I said sorry, so it's okay.
Yeah, you did.
So yeah, no, it's just right now. I think we're in this point where. I've been thinking about this a lot. Where I'm like, we know a lot of people that are very funny and very easy to chat with, and I think would love to do something like this, but lack time and like the work ethic, arguably, to like get it started. Because doing a podcast is not easy.
No.
And yes, I say Quinn and I yap for like 3 gosh darn hours, not factoring in the before and after.
Yep.
But you still have to yap and like, sound like you're not losing focus because you're getting distracted by the flashy thing over in the corner and you're going jingle, jingle, jingle because you're at hour 3 and you're like, but I need to talk about this deck. But Quinn is talking about fair deck and we got to get through that. And Quinn's going to hit us with the thing that people are going to go into our comments and be like, wow, Quinn really talking about the bangers this episode. And they're like, all right, now let's go to Smoking Mids and see what Mike and Lenny are talking about. And then you guys go for an hour. We're like, all right, now we're back out.
Hour and a half, excuse me. Hour and a half.
It got down to like an hour.
You cut it down that much?
It was, I didn't have to trim out a lot. There was a few other, there was stuff happening in the background, like some audio stuff that needed to be fixed up, and that was all easy. But you made it easy. Like you made it so easy by coming in, right? It's just
yeah. So I mean, I got the setup. I got it cleared up, but I was also high off my ass.
Oh,
because I was trying to be the Quinn.
I started playing the episode. I'm like, I went over to my girlfriend. I'm like, you need to listen to this, and I started playing it, and she's like, Mike sounds high as. Sorry, kid. Hi, dude. I'm like, yeah, it's just ripped. It was great. It was freaking great. And that's it, right? Like, we're a bunch of adults playing a bunch of games, sitting down, talking about Magic. And the thing at the end of the day is, this isn't, we're not a deck reviewing podcast. This isn't a gameplay video you're seeing on YouTube. We are literally shooting the shit and hanging out for upwards to like 3.5, nearly 4 hours recently. We were just shy. We were 8 minutes shy of a full 4-hour episode. And it's filled with music. We're trying to do like old timey radio show bits at the beginning of the episode. We're talking about the things that we're looking at, and then the people we get to hang out with, and sometimes there's guests. And like, it's been so fun, and people seem to enjoy it. And slowly but surely, more people are like trickling in, being like, "Hey, I love being the fly on the wall, hanging out with people, like watching and observing."
And that's kind of the vibe that I want from a podcast like this, which is like, when I have a chance to listen to a podcast, it's usually because I got a lot of time. If I, and I got chores to do, I got stuff to get done, I'm in the car for a little while, I'm going to want something that I can really dig into. And honestly, I want something that I can ignore for a bit and come back to. Just like sometimes you doze off, like you don't doze off, but you kind of like, if you're a non-participant in a conversation that you're hovering around, sometimes your mind will wander because of something somebody said, and you can allow that to happen, but then you can come back to the discussion and it's still interesting and vibrant and cool and stuff is happening and maybe something else hooks you back in. That's the experience with the Heroes Blade vibe check, which is like there's a structure to it, but it's still very loosey goosey.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some interesting things happening with the brews off the shelf, but then you'll also get like, hey, I found out about this new creator I've never heard of before, and they're doing fantastic stuff. And then you're like, great, let's cue that up next. Or like, it's very much the definition of a community podcast rather than like, you know, kind of what this is. This is definitely like a community podcast, but there's like, you know, it's kind of like it's the stated goal isn't so chill. We're like, it's got to be like about an hour.
Yeah,
we have
we
like
gotta
a bit
lock
more of a
in.
structure. Yeah, we can't be swearing so much. You know, we're like, and we can't. You know what? I could put out an episode where there's like a podcast within a podcast or something if I wanted to, but it's gonna pass a lot less on this podcast than on Heroes Blade Vibe Check.
But Mike,
yeah.
You know what? Take it from someone who had like, there's no plan. There's no plan to be like, oh, I'm going to actively, Quinn's going to give me a track that is a really awesome, like swanky, jazzy, you're going to like a smoky dive bar track that's an intro to a podcast. And you're like, what do I do with this? And then someone taps you on your shoulder like a year plus into doing the podcast, be like, how about we like as a joke put like a podcast in a podcast because the bit's really funny, and you're like, that is actually the most hilarious thing in the world. I would love to do that. And then now
apologize to Ken.
Sorry, Ken. I'm sorry. Now to eternity. I'm sorry to your ancestors. I'm sorry. I'm having a good time.
You're really bad at this. You're bad at doing the non-swearing thing.
I'm. You know what's funny? You see me in a professional setting. You see me in a professional setting. You'll never hear a peep from me about any type of sailor swearing I'm doing in the background. Get me out of there. I'm like,
yeah. Let it rip. Oh, same.
Sewer mouth. Yeah. Sorry, Ken. Anyway. Yeah,
that's Hero Blaze Vibe Check, baby. You gotta get into it. If you aren't already into it, get into it. It's just great. It's on, and I'm the sicko that's in Cole's ear, being like, make the episodes longer.
Okay, and here's an imitation. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I have a plan, and it's a very bad plan, and I don't know the actual logistics of it, but I am a sicko. Okay. I am a sicko. Okay. You're in my ear being like, I know you're a sicko, so I need you to like get on this. So let me shout out the Legendary Creature podcast, because I love Andy and Kyle. Those guys on here, right? They've been on before. It was really funny. And spoiler alert, in the future, we're trying to get Kyle on. We've had Andy on. So like,
right.
Because the way I looked at it, what you offered those two for coming on is the outlet, the opportunity to not do what they can't or won't choose to do on their thing. Be like, well, you know, because people pay us, and like, you know, well, like whatever they choose to do, they know that they're like, we got to make a 2-hour episode. We're going to be talking about slinging spells, like slinging instant sorceries is the recent bit or whatever, right? Yeah. But they can't put like it out. And they can't just go on and like complain in the microphone for 2 hours as like a sort of catharsis thing, and then realize, well, I don't know if anyone wants to listen to that.
And then...
But what they did was that they had been joking about for years in their own Discord about how they would do a 6-hour-long podcast episode about artifacts. And they did do it. In fact, it's not 6 hours, it's 7 hours. The Artifact Omnibus episode it's dense. We got Empress Quinn in there. We got Dana Roach.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure one of the guys from, I think it's Sam from the Howling Salt Mine is in that episode too, right? Like,
nice.
And it's not just they sat down for 7 hours and had people call in, and then you get them set up, and then you hit record and you go, right? Like, they did do this progressively, slowly in the background over time. And I want to do that. I do want to do and be a crazy sicko and make like a 10-hour long episode filled with like guests and probably like at least 3 or 4 Empress Quinn tracks on this other stuff. Nice. But like, that would require a lot of time and effort and reaching out to certain people and be like, hey, I would like you to come on. what's the point of the episode? And I was talking to it with Andy because I'm like, I'm also thinking of like, no, it's not just a simple impersonation. Like we want to do it. We want it to be a big, long hangout with a bunch of people. And yes, have it be some crazy 8-hour, 10-hour
24
show. Sorry,
hour.
Ken. Yeah, you know, while doing our regular radio show bit things and the edits and all this other stuff and make it a real fun, like, TV show kind of like, this is the Avengers level crossover or whatever, right? But then the point was like, and I was talking with Andy, and Andy's a good like ideas guy of like, hey, if you do this, why are you doing it and what do you want out of it?
Yeah.
And like we've been saying, it is just a hangout. We're hanging out. We play Magic. We like each other and we like talking about playing Magic, and we like talking about Magic in the sense of let's focus on the artwork of a card. Let's focus on the stats of a card. Like what is your emotional attachment to this card printed in 1997, despite the fact that I don't like Orc World cards personally. Like, or like just what's the point and the goal of it? And at the end of the day, like if and when I do it, it is just the hangout, the gathering in its own form of through the airwaves or in person or whatever. Like it's about the gathering and hanging out.
Oh yeah.
For 10 damn hours. And if we do it, by George, we're going to do it.
Yeah, and I'll be ready for it.
Yes, you are the first sicko on the docket of being like, if there was someone I need to
thing.
You should. Hey, hold on. We got other people that need to come in.
I know, but I need you to know that I would do the whole thing. I have fun chatting with you about Magic. Like we sometimes we'll just like call each other and while we're doing stuff and it's like, oh, sorry, Ken, we've been on for like 2 hours. Like I forgot what I even called about anymore.
Yeah, we got lost in the weeds. You know, we were having a good time. And you're like, oh wait, I got like a life to live, and like I gotta go get dinner started, or I gotta do whatever. Whoops. And the time zone differences of 3 hours. We're like, oh yeah, I'm going to bed, dude. You're like, I'm
we're
like,
on opposite ends of the country.
All right,
you know, look at us. Cole, buddy, first of all, this is just gonna be for us because we know about this already. I found out what the card that was missing from my Lorehold Precon is,
and that is,
and it's a new one, Ceaseless Conflict, the 5-mana board wipe that gives you, the one that gives you a 3/2 for each creature you control. I know.
It's the linchpin. That's the whole point of the deck.
Is it really?
I don't know. I like that board wipe, actually. I'm a little bit big on it. Because, I mean, you get bodies out of it. What more asymmetrical white board wipe are you looking for?
I mean, there's the March of Souls is like one from like Odyssey block, I want to say. That's 4 and white that says each player makes a flying 1/1 spirit for creatures that they controlled this way that were destroyed. So, like...
It's pretty good, too.
I mean... Thing is, I'm gonna have to fill out a WotC quality control message for a card that's likely gonna be 50 cents. I don't know. Anyway, let's get into your story and then maybe see if we have time to f around on the other end.
All right,
sorry,
enough shilling my own. Sorry, Ken. Let's go into.
Let's get the story because you said you got a good one today,
Mike. I have not played in a Magic the Gathering. Sorry. I have not played Magic the Gathering in a local game store for a very long time. I do it on an odd occasion with friends when we go to a pre-release, but I used to.
We played at a game store when I was visiting.
Yeah, we did, but we weren't doing a pre-release. We were hanging out. But but I don't go consistently. I'm not like a regular in the sense I like show up and I'm like, oh, I know these 10 people. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Sure. You know, I go out and hang out with my friends. We go play Commander. We go into someone's garage in the middle of like winter or monsoon season out here in BC. But I used to go to a local game store once upon a time when I was a wee babe at the age of 16. So like, yeah, we're looking at like,
oh wow, we're looking at an older story now.
Yeah. So, or is it 16 or 17? But anyway, so
half your life ago.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So this was I'm not going to name any names, you know, to protect the names of the innocent. This particular store that I used to go to, real mom and pop shop. It was more of a board game store than a Magic store. The owner was really nice, incredibly generous, did way more for us Magic the Gathering players when we were coming through on like Friday night or the weekends whenever pre-releases were happening. Like prize pools were like kind of crazy because it'd be like, hey, if you get X and 1, like if you go 3 and 1 in a 4-round game of a pre-release, like you get an extra pack or something, like something disproportional, right?
Yeah.
We're just
Hell
like,
yeah.
wow, like that's really like so generous, right? And this is truly like a mom and pop shop in the sense of like we have families showing up where the parents are probably in their 40s or 50s and their kids may be between the ages of like 7 and 13 or 14 or something, right? Like
Okay.
we got that demographic. We got some siblings who are showing up who are maybe are in like their early 20s, like they're going to school or they're working, but they show up for Friday Night Magic and crush the entire store because they're running whatever's the top standard deck of that era, because we're talking about like
Yeah.
2012, 2013, 2014 when all this stuff was happening.
Mhm.
And of course you get a bunch of people across ages, like me and my friends, like some of us were just out of high school or just heading on out at that point, like we were like 16 and 17 and 18 and 19. We were going there for like 3 or 4 years. We're all like graduating and working and still going to school, and we'd show up, be like, we're going to Friend Slayer, like we're gonna go Friend Slayer on each other. I'm gonna go face against my buddy. They're gonna go at each other. At the end of the night, we're like, well, I went 2 and 2, but I beat you 2. So that's a moral victory for me.
That's
Now we're gonna
that's
go
a
over,
win. Okay.
we're gonna go over to someone's house afterward after F&M's done. We're gonna get like food and we're gonna pal out for the rest of the night.
Mhm.
But then you have the characters that are like, these are grown ass adults, and I really do mean like they're grown ass adult men that are quite some characters. We had an ex bouncer who would flip his standard deck like every 2 weeks or 3 weeks if something wasn't working out. We had another guy who was like, he played poker and then eventually was like, I'm cashing out. I'm going to go full time on poker. We're like, all right, good for you, dude. Nice playing
Sure,
Magic
all right.
with you.
Yeah.
And then the subject of my story, Mike, I'm going to ask you a question now.
Oh God.
I'm going to ask you a question now before we go into the story. Am I the bolus?
Oh, how dare you start it like right now? Go.
Am I the bolus for helping sign a petition with other people at this store to kick
my
a
God.
particular person out of the store for their absolutely egregious behavior?
Okay. This sounds okay. So this sounds very heavily tilted. We know there's a petition involved and there are people that signed it. What the Cole? Sorry, Ken.
Sorry, Ken.
What is this? What happened?
Mikey.
What
Bolcuts. Lend
Thank
me
you.
your ears. I have a
The
story for you.
Bolcuts, lend me your ears.
For again, the identities will be protected. So we'll call this guy the Joker because as I chat with my friends and I'm like, do you remember this guy, the Joker? And my friend goes, oh, I still remember his laugh. It was annoying. It was vaguely insulting, and it was like it was painful to listen to because this guy would show up to the store and he would be playing a meta deck for that era of standard. We're talking about like one point we're at the end of like New Phyrexia heading into Innistrad. So he's like, I'm gonna play blue green infect with like I can't remember what that like 2 mana 1/1 unblockable with infect is, but he'd get like mutagenic growth and
Blighted Agent.
Yeah, he'd play Blighted Agent and he'd play mutagenic growth and like giant growth. It was probably printed in whatever. And then he'd be like, all right, turn 1, turn 2, Blighted Agent, turn 3, kill you for your 10 infect. And then he'd go, haha, that was fun. We're like, no, it wasn't. I'm like, I got no money to my name. I'm like 16 or 17 years old. And I'm like, I'm playing like blue-white spirits or something like before it got good. It was not good. So he's laughing and he's like really insulting.
How tell me more about this laugh, because so far it just sounds like you played an infect player.
I can't. Oh, it gets worse. It does. But I can't.
Good.
Like, I'm going to try and simulate it, and it's because I've tried to push it in the back of my brain, in the depths of my subconscious, locked away. Because this guy was just such a character. But he'd be like, We're like, oh no, dude. Like, oh no.
That's a brutal laugh.
Oh,
That's a
and
tough one to have.
it was consistent. Like, it almost be like, you know, when you hit the easy button, it goes like, that's
What if he
easy. It's the
found out it
same
was
thing. It's like copy and paste laugh, like every time. We're like,
what if it was just Seth Rogen?
I would love a Seth Rogen laugh. Are you kidding me? Like, at least I like listening to Seth Rogen and not this guy. So anyway,
Okay.
so the Joker, he has a bad laugh.
Oh,
But he's also not actually that great in the sportsmanship part of things. He
tell us everything.
So, you know, like if he goes up against the adults of the store, like the 30 or 40 or 50-year-olds, like the students going to university or whatever, like he could be civil, but he wasn't being nice, you know? There'd be no handshakes, or if he get beaten, it's like, oh, well, I could have won that if that. We're like, whatever, man. Just take your lumps and move on to the next thing, right? But he would poke the bear with the older adults at the store. And in fact, and this is not to discredit one of the other guys at the store, but like he put the ex bouncer guy on tilt so bad that the guy like got up and like pushed the table, and I had never seen this guy act actually aggressively before ever. Like he was loud, he was rowdy, but this guy was like, stop doing that, and he like pushed the table, and we were out. The whole store stopped. We're like, wait, he's playing against
Brent,
the
go take a breath.
yeah,
go,
you know,
go get a
we're like,
breather,
oh,
buddy.
he's playing against the Joker, so this kind of makes a little sense, you know. But then when it came to the kids, he would just crush them, no ceremony, and be like, well, that sucks for you. Like, bro, this kid is 10 years old with a sleeveless deck playing standard with his dad, like at the store. Like, you're kidding me, right? But he was just no mercy.
Were they matched up for the event? Or
yeah,
is it like oh,
if it was first round or second round, or someone got a bye or whatever, however the pairing works, right? Like, right. Initially, it would be he'd go up against a baby child and would just crush their hopes and dreams with no mercy, no proper etiquette, no consideration of maybe I'll like softball the kid, right? Like, but that was the broad demographic. If you're up against the person who's showing up with the top tier deck, I would hope that you would not, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like, you wouldn't show up and not play the game and not go 100%. But like, if you're going up against a 10-year-old kid, man, come on. Like, that kid might be better at Magic than you in the moment. But like, if they don't have the budget or the parents don't have the budget, they're going to get crushed.
Well, I also think that there's something here which is like, this is at an F&M where there's the player points mattered. You know what I mean? And maybe he's grinding to do tournaments and stuff.
But like,
so far, that's the part that I'm kind of
well, those are some other characters that I won't be going into, but I learned those ones were cheaters, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh,
great.
Really? That's
yeah, bigger sideboards than normal, from what I've heard recently. And I was like,
I just mean that, like, you know, sometimes you get paired against a kid and you're like, gotta play your deck the way you need to win, but you could be nice about it. Be like, look, this is one of those events and I'm trying to be competitive. And, you know, as long as you're being nice to the kid or whatever, like, please.
Well, and then in the kids' cases, trades would happen and he would scam people ragged. It was ridiculous.
Really?
He would, oh, hey, that foil this or whatever, you know, $20 card. Or whatever, like trades would happen. And, you know, a lot of the kids, like I didn't have a cell phone at that time, so I couldn't open up my phone like we can do now.
Didn't have the resources like we used to either back then to know what the cards were exactly in real time.
This guy was disproportionately like scamming people, be like, no, at some point people were like, no, we're not going to trade or don't trade with this guy because like he's not going to set you up properly. Like he's going to run you over the coals and rob you blind. It'll be ridiculous. So we're just like, oh my God, man, seriously. At one point, and we could never confirm if this was true or not. It was the Gate Crash pre-release, I want to say. What's like the Arch for like it was Return to Ravnica.
Yeah, the Arch is Gate Crash.
Yeah, Gate Crash. So we were playing Gate Crash. Do you know the card Kingpin's Pet?
No.
Read it. So we got 1 white and a black for 2/2 Thrall. It's a common. It's got flying and it's got extort. That's it.
Easy.
Now, obviously, if you're opening a bunch of commons, you're opening your pre-release kit at this event. it's not unlikely that you're going to have 4 copies of Kingpin's Pet in your main board. But people guessed that based off some other things that like he was doing disproportionately well at the pre-release, like really good. And people were like, maybe this guy's cheating because he brought in another copy of Kingpin's Pet from another pre-release kit. We don't know. A lot of people were just at this point when this was happening, we were just like really irritated and frustrated with this guy. Um, and so it's like he would scam people out of trades. He would put people on tilt with just his personality.
No sportsmanship.
Yeah, just like, you know, we couldn't, no one would really was able to like engage with him even casually. Like he would come by and like we would just try not to talk to him because like the conversation was going nowhere. He'd say something rude or he'd say something like dismissively or whatever. And it reached the point where the kids are done with this guy, but we can't do anything because we're like 17 or 18 or whatever. And we're going to start making a case. So one of the guys, some of the guys that I had mentioned earlier were like, we can't keep doing this because it was reaching a point where people are like, I come to FNM and like some of the characters were like, again, the cheaters who were at the top who were playing with like 16 or 17 card sideboards. They were kind of also characters, not the focus of the story, but they were also playing for points and wanting to go to like pro tours or whatever, right? Like they wanted their points.
We're gonna go to nationals.
Yeah, sure. You're not going to do it by cheating, but I guess you are. Then you have a bunch of different people, but you know, who are parents or uncles or friends or kids or whatever coming through who are like, I'm literally coming here to play FNM and see if this deck brew that I'm doing is going to work or not. And I like a lot of the people here and I like the owner and there's so much generous stuff going on, but this guy is ruining my experience so bad. I actually don't want to come back to the store. And we would see people not show up for a few weeks because they were going to go to other places. Or they're like, I actually don't think I want to come out anymore because this guy, or maybe a certain handful of people, were ruining it so bad, man. So they're like, it's time. They're like, we went to the owner and they're like, we are going to get signatures together. We are going to get a petition together. And they're like, we don't want to do this because who wants to do that? Who actually wants to be at a mom and pop LGS playing Magic on Friday night with their friends and be like, I have to sign a petition to see if we get kick this guy out because.
Oh, buddy, I've got a story for you about me getting somebody kicked out.
Oh,
hey, get this. It's quick. Guy I'm playing against at a pre-release being a complete asshole. Sorry, Ken. I don't know if we said that.
Yeah, I would say, don't you say that? Yeah, I think so.
I figure we can. Anyway, he was being such a jerk. So this woman walks in, and it's my buddy's girlfriend. He doesn't know who it is, but she's looking for him, and he's like, "What do you think? She was she a man or she the T-word slur?" And I'm like, "Hey, hey, man." And I had never met her. I don't know who she is either. And I'm already like, "Hey, first of all, what the are you saying?" Sorry, Ken. Also, hey, what? He's like, no, like. Would you? And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Hey, sorry, Ken. Bleep that one out.
Yeah, sorry, Ken. I mean, what are we doing? You doubling down? I'm clearly not on your side.
Yeah.
And like, I used to work for this LGS, and so I just texted the guy that owns it, and I was like, hey, this guy's using slurs about people in here, and if he continues, I'm gonna pop off. So I'm gonna go cool down, but I expect you to have a conversation with him. Cut to that guy never welcome at that store again. However, I did see him at a big store here in Montreal at a pre-release for Spider-Man. And while I split packs with everybody I played against, I didn't split packs against him. He didn't remember me. I just crushed his ass completely.
Hell yeah!
I wasn't kind. I was very blunt. I was curt. I was just like, I am. There's no respect here. We are paired against each other. However, this will never happen again. And I even had the store employees at this new place take down his name and make sure that if we're ever at a same pre-release, we never get paired against each other. Doesn't matter if we're the only two at the top or bottom. Doesn't matter if we're the only option available.
Yeah.
I will concede. I'm never playing against a person like that ever again.
The thing is that you know, it it doesn't take much for these types of people. And obviously on your example, it's a little bit more of like they're leaning even further on how to be a bad human being, of being
Yeah.
like saying horrid,
Yeah.
like sorry again, horrid stuff like that. Like not
Yeah.
like why the thing that killed me, and again, there's a follow up to this whole thing of like, oh hey, by the way, we signed the petition, we kicked this guy out, easy peasy, never saw him
Mhm.
again, as far as I can actually
No.
really remember.
Oh,
But
yeah?
then I was like, well, this story is over, right? Like it's been again, like I'm turning 32 this summer. I'm like
Half your life
16
ago.
years, 15, 16 years ago. What, it's done. It's over. Never hear of the Joker again. What could possibly go wrong? And I bring it up in my group chat with the guys that I started playing Magic with. I'm like, hey guys, like, do you remember this person? How we signed a petition? And someone's like, well, I don't remember the petition part, but I imagine we probably did it. And they're like, did we finally finish the petition? And I'm like, we're a few years too late for that. But one of my other friends was like, actually, we recently kicked him out of another store. And I'm like, brother, it's 2020. It's
What?
2026. What do you mean we did it
What?
again? And they're like, yeah. He recently got banned for very similar reasons. There was also someone else who
What?
so let me go through the list of the things this person did. They made people uncomfortable. That was pretty expected. Unnecessarily loud. Yup. Think he either
I mean, I can't fault them for that. I'm sorry.
think
That
he
one's
either got caught cheating or was expected or suspected of it. And then yeah, despite 16 years having changed, he hasn't much changed at all. And then they put out a message on the particular Discord that they were in for the store to be like, yeah, this is happening again. I'm like, oh my God, we are playing a game. I know we say sometimes we're like, oh, we're playing like a kid's game. And it's like, yeah, because
Sure.
some of we're seeing
We were
skeletons.
kids when we started for a long time, and it's like it's still
But
like a
we're
fantasy
playing
game.
a game, bro. Why do you need to act? Why does anyone, this guy in particular, needs to act like this? But anyway, I know I'm going all, this is a tried and true story. We've met people like this. They're a dime a dozen, and you should never give them your time. But this guy
Was
was
something.
nearly gone, deep nestled in some fold of my brain, never to be heard from again. And then I thought, hey, do you guys even remember this guy? And they're like, he's still being a menace. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
That's kind of nuts.
I can't believe
That's
it.
kind of nuts. Okay, so there's no way that this is you asking if you're the bolus. This is like,
No,
let's parade
I would now like
this-
to ask you the actual question of, is the Joker the bullies?
Oh, come on, Cole.
Yeah, no.
You don't come to show and tell where the
That
theme
guy,
is this
sorry,
fucking
Ken, not
dude.
sorry, but, like,
Ken, too.
Jeez, yeah, no.
Literally, today's theme is this fucking guy.
Yes,
Sorry, Ken.
Sorry, Ken.
And that's what it's not even. There's no question about it. It's just kind of like, I don't know, man. If like the thing is, if like you can be an asshole, it could be part
That's
of who
fine.
you are.
Like, I
But
know. Hey,
you have to be okay with the like consequences of being like, if you get ousted from stuff and that's a regular occurrence and you kind of just make peace with that, like fine, do it. That's your life. People will not remember you well and fondly, and it might
Nope.
follow you around for a while. But also, like, be prepared for that kind of consequence. However, if you're sick and tired of being kicked out of places, maybe, how about just a thought? Try not that.
yeah.
Try to not that. That's my thinking. Is maybe try not.
All it really takes for a bad LGS experience is one bad egg. And we hear about it all the time, right? Mike,
They're
like you were saying earlier, about how someone can show up, immediately be the worst human being, saying the most horrid shit. They're transphobic, they're racist, or whatever. Sorry, Ken. Whoops. Sorry,
I got
Ken.
it for you that time.
1,000 times. I'm sorry, Ken. This is my favorite part now, is you being like, you flew past the swear word and now you have to say sorry, and I love it. But like,
I even just went a little bit. I just did a sorry, Ken.
Sorry,
like
Ken. He knows.
go
You
on.
know.
You were saying there's these guys.
There's, and it's not just guys, no doubt. There's people
Sure.
across all shades that are
Of all
like
kinds,
this, but
sure.
like they can absolutely ruin an LGS experience so bad that even I don't want to come back to a store. And
Sure.
to the store owner's credit, he did kick the guy out and we continued on. But then some people had to move away, change their jobs.
How it goes.
My job prevented me from coming out. So unfortunately, at some point, after like 4 or 5 years of going in that store, I just couldn't make the time anymore, and it felt really bad. But it's like, you know, I remember most of it fondly, but someone like that or two people like that can really just make or break a
Dude,
store's
you know what?
environment.
Sometimes those people are the employees themselves.
Yeah,
Some
I
places
don't.
hire the worst.
Yeah, you know what? I don't see that personally too often. There's a
No,
few,
not often. No, no,
but
no.
you know, that's a whole other like story. But that really is too. It's like, oh, do we want to get into the conversation about how people get into elevated positions of
Oh
authority
yeah.
and then they ruin it for everyone else by being a putz? Like, no thanks.
Oh wow. Hey, what's that? Something that happens in comedy all the time?
Oh no, Mike, say it ain't so. No, it's just
I mean, so yeah, no, you're not the bolus for taking action to get rid of somebody who's ruining everybody else's time.
yeah.
I don't think that's bolus behavior. I do think that he's engaged in quite a bit of bolus behavior, and I would wish he'd find a more suitable hobby, you know, like Warhammer, where I hear there's a lot more toxic people.
Take your pick, right? Like it's
I
like
mean, truly.
you get into a
Get it?
hobby that costs a lot of money, and then you go to a store and you harass people. Like, miss me with that, dude. I'm tired.
I don't know, man.
But-
Just get on Arena. It's like it's easier
Yeah,
to shake it off.
go rope people on Arena and make time run out while people are either spamming the emoji of your go or they're just dipping. You
I
know?
don't get it. I don't get how that's like a thing. I don't understand how people do this to people. Like this is fun for them.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
It's bizarre.
It bothers me.
Yeah. But hey, Mike, I'm sorry for coming on here and being like, hey, have fun. I'm going to talk about my podcast. We're having a good time. Let me tell you about some of the most infuriating people we've ever met in our life. And they're like,
I mean, they're out there. That's the thing that's going to resonate with everybody listening to this is like, if you've been to an LGS for long enough, you'll have known there's this guy. Yo, okay. Here's another story.
Oh, here we
this is
go.
a separate story. Now, this is just an episode about the worst people at your LGS.
We're trying to be funny. I promise, people. I promise.
No. I'm not trying to be funny.
Oh, no.
There's this guy. So there's an LGS near my place that I go to often. Shout out Coinge. They're great. They're in Repentigny, which isn't exactly close, but it's also not far. And
you'll make the
they
effort.
got a great,
you know.
Yeah. They got a great space. They got like their staff is great. Their selection's great. They, you know, reasonable prices. You get good deals when like you're pre-ordering stuff. Like I really like this spot. I like working with these guys. Like I go over there and like you know if I need something they help me out. So I really like this place a lot. But this one time I think it was just a regular commander night, and some dude Uber Eats food to the store.
Mm-hmm.
And the delivery guy comes in and gives the guy the food, and the guy who ordered the food just like grabs it, goes thanks, sits down just like on top of his cards and his play, everything, puts his food on top of all of his stuff, starts eating on top of it. I'm like, first of all, that's crazy. I could never. But then the driver comes back in. And he's like, hey, man, I think there might be something wrong with your order. It says here you didn't tip me. And he goes, yeah, I'm not going to tip. And the driver's like, you had me do a bunch of extra stuff. And we don't make.
Sorry, Ken.
Yeah. We don't make all that much off of just a delivery. And I drove, you know, you had me correct your order from a different
like
address, all this stuff.
Probably.
Dude,
like something
dude, really awful. This order, like,
here's
the thing.
People, what the?
Here's the thing. I agree with the guy who didn't tip in the sense that, like, I don't think that should be on us. The company should be paying a living.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
If we want to get, get into that, but yeah.
yeah. But this guy didn't tip, and the driver's like, "Dude, this fucking sucks. Sorry, Ken. This guy that sucks so bad. You're a terrible. You're such a bad person." And this dude who's playing games, and like clearly everybody around him is like embarrassed by this dude. Like you have nobody who knows this guy. He's flying solo, joined a 3-pod of friends. They're all like, they see him put his food on top of his cards in the middle of their game, and they're like, okay. And then he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna tip. Go fuck yourself. Sorry. And then the Uber driver's like, it sucks so bad that you're out here and you're this type of person. And as he's leaving, that guy chases him outside and starts to get into it with him.
Are you
And like,
kidding me?
nope. Other people who were out there, like, having a smoke or something, had to step in to keep him from going at the Uber driver. And then they were like, hey, what do you mean you didn't tip the Uber driver? And he's like, I don't
there's
tip.
a lot of Mike, you're hitting me with like a lot of things for this story, and I'm like about to lose my marbles because I'm like, who is this trash human being? Like,
dude, I think one of the guys smoking a cigarette slipped the guy a 10 and was like, "This is, I don't know what it was. Yeah, you don't deserve to deal with
I'm
this."
not involved, but like, please,
You're driving for Uber. You know how little you make on Uber? Are you fucking kidding me? Sorry, Ken. Especially in that area, you can't be doing numbers.
This is Sorry Ken the episode. Sorry, Ken.
Yeah. But that's that story. Before we scoot the day and tell everybody where to find you. Yeah, that's right. We're scooting the day here, buddy.
Oh man.
Before we scoot the day and stuff, let's see. Do you want to get into, because it is pre-release weekend when we're recording this, and by the time this drops, the set will still be newish.
It will be in the zeitgeist. It will
still be around.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me, is there anything that has caught your eye this set that you would like to talk about?
Okay. It's not any of the dragons because all of them are busted and whatever.
They're all messed up.
They're all right. I know exactly which one to talk about, and it's probably the most like straightforward, kind of slightly boring card, but this one has been in my brain ever since I saw it from previews. So hey, you know me, I'm the Bloodric Guy. I've chosen to champion.
Oh no, I know exactly what card
you know exactly.
I'm gonna go find it and I'm gonna name it before you get to it.
It's too late. I got it.
I know. No, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna say it before you do. I swear to God,
Mike. I believe
predicting.
In you. You know, I've talked about this card.
It's the Hardened Academic.
Yes.
It's the 2 mana, so red and white, 1/1 bird cleric with flying and haste. Discard a card. This creature gains lifelink until end of turn. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It's this one. I guarantee it.
Yeah, no. And you got it on the dot. It is exactly it. This bird cleric has been on the brain. And right now, when it comes to Magic, regardless of like Universes Beyond Designs or not, they're churning out a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of ways to like remix or like reallocate currently existing mechanics in a way that is like, it reads really simple, but it could be really cool too.
It plays nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. So Hardened Academic is a card where I'm playing a Reanimator strategy in my Odric Bloodcurse deck. I care about keywords. This comes down early. So this ticks off a lot of things where I'm like, this is freaking great.
For those of you who don't know, Odric Bloodcurse, it's a Boros commander that when it enters, it makes blood tokens equal to the number of keywords on creatures you control.
It can create up to 12. It can create up to 12. You can't double count the keywords. And it is otherwise, when you cast it with nothing out on the board, it is a vanilla 3-mana 3/3. So it's not very exciting. But hey, it's my boy. I love that card. I try to do a lot of funky stuff with it.
Yeah, you do.
So that means when I'm looking at cards, I'm like, how do I min-max my Garbo card? Hardened Academic is like, well, hey, you're already discarding cards. So having a discard outlet and Hardened Academic, kind of cool. I kind of like it. Discarding a card to give the Academic lifelink until end of turn. All right, I'm already at 3 keywords. So that's 3 blood tokens. Whenever one of our cards leave your graveyard, put a +1 counter on target creature you control. That could be literally anything that I have on my board. It could be the Academic, it could be Odric, it could be whatever. I don't know what it is, because like, Warhold has Miracle, and she can draw and discard cards on other people's turns. I'm like, that's really cool. This bird, however, speaking my name, man, I love. It's simple. Sometimes it's like, what are the things you want out of Magic? And sometimes I'm sure I may be talking out my ass because I don't know standard like I used to. Someone's gonna look at Hardened Academic and be like, I can do something with this, and it's gonna do something crazy, Lorehold's entire mechanic through line of caring about things leaving the graveyard is so mechanically interesting because you're like, what is the hoop that I'm getting from doing this?
Well,
And
especially
what am
for
I?
like we're both Mardu lovers. We're
Yeah.
both like big fans of graveyard decks. It's particularly in like white, black, and red combinations. Like I would argue I throw in as long as it's black and it's got a graveyard involved, I'm there. But I've got a Boros Flage deck with a lot of reanimating Flage now. And I'll tell you what, this set I had no idea what was coming in this set when I made the Flage deck. I have plenty of an idea of what I'm going to be adding to it from this set. I tell you what.
I wish I could be double majoring in Silver Quill and Lorehold right now because I think I could probably pull it off. But then I saw how buff. I saw Carol history buff, and I saw their guns, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm built for Lorehold though. That's crazy. But there's so much character. There's so much character to Strixhaven as a setting, and I think they've managed to bring it around like crazy for a return. The Mystical Archive is even more of a banger. The artwork and stuff is crazy. I do got to give credit. They were like, if we got to go full tilt on the dragons, like, yeah, we're going to go super crazy with it. And they did. And it's a little bit scary, but that's a whole other thing. Just, yeah, really exciting time to be a fan of enemy color pairs. And if you happen to be a big fan of where those color combinations intersect with those schools, then you're like, as a Silver Quill and Lorehold guy and a Mardu guy, like I'm eating good, and I'm only just in my quote unquote first pass of the set right now. I'm gonna need to sit down with it and think about it.
Totally.
Empress Quinn's gonna be coming up with vibes-based storytelling time, and those stories. You know what? I need to go back through them again, and I've heard and seen and read about some certain things that are going on, and I'm like, wow, this story is a freaking banger, and it's so good. Secrets of Strixhaven is really good right now.
I haven't finished the story yet, but I've been pretty happy with it. And
so it seems like a lot of other people right now.
Yeah. I want to shout out a card that overperformed at my pre-release today.
Yeah, because you just went today. Yeah.
I literally got back from it and we started recording. So here is... I opened Silver Quill and was like, okay, Silver Quill is basically the Orzhov aggro. I opened 2 of the Stirring something or other. It's like the owl... Stirring Hope Singer, 2 in a white, flying lifelink, 1/3 that has repartee.
This is so good. I love this bird.
Yeah. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. And then I also had like a Shoulder's Edict and then a Wild Growth Archaic, which is what I want to shout out. Wild Growth Archaic is a hybrid 2 and a green, hybrid 2 and a green for a 0/0 creature avatar trample reach with Convoke. Converge is the wrong mechanic. Converge. This creature enters with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. And then whenever you cast a creature spell, that creature enters with an additional X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast it. Now here's the thing. I've paid 3 mana for a 3 power toughness trample reach Wild Growth Archaic by paying 1 green that I splashed and like Orzhov colors. And then my next turn, I play my 2-drop in Orzhov that's already such a problem to be... Like, there's this 2-drop in Silver Quill that's like Menace, Repartee, put a +1/+1 counter on it. When it dies, put its counters on something else, and it's a 2/2.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'm going to play that as a 4/4. And then it's for 2 mana, I get a 2 mana 4/4 that when it dies, put its counters on target, I don't know, trample, reaching, or archaic.
Yeah.
And then honestly, this archaic ended up winning me 3 of my games without like needing to lift much of another finger. There's even like, you end up playing a 1-drop. You're paying 1 color for it, but it comes in with an additional counter. That's pretty sick. You go out of your way to spend different kinds of colors of mana so that you could play like a 3-drop with like, 2 and a black. Okay, what's this gonna be? And turns out you could just end up with like a 6/5 crappy C tier
like
creature that you have to
draft pick. You're
yeah,
like,
like
this
a
is
draft
like
curve filler.
this is like
It's
10th
literally in there
pick,
for
like
that.
whatever. Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, it's like this archaic makes it this tank that people are like, oh, now I got to spend removal on this. It's like, no, point it at the archaic, but this is gonna slam you in the face until you get rid of things. So
Yeah. Man.
I don't envy your position right now. Like this sucks for you. This
sucks,
is great
dude.
for me.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I loved this card in my pre-release, and then I was playing it, and I was like, man, Genova, you know.
Oh yeah,
there's
I
some
know you and your
treasures in
Genova
there.
deck. Yeah, dude. Like they
oof.
they obviously if I was gonna go play a pre-release, which it's still the weekend, it could happen.
Could happen to anybody.
It could, yeah. But I think it's like Magic designers aren't stupid. The people working at WotC, like if they can bring it home, if you give them enough time, and they will be willing to like look at the past of a set and now be like, hey, what have we learned since then? What are we able to do now? And then you get stuff like some of it reads super simple, right? Like Stirring Hope Singer. I was looking at this card too because there's those crazy Mavinda players who want this, and they're like, I didn't realize I could make Mavinda like a flyer aggro deck or whatever, right? But the cool thing about stuff like Stirring Hope Singer is you could be committing crimes against your opponents and getting that bonus too. And then you could be like, I've also got a crime sub theme of the deck or whatever, right? Like if you're going commander, like they got a lot of, as I sometimes describe it, they got a lot of knobs that can be spun and tuned and like get the gears locked in weird ways. And like, I'm sure the limited environment's going to be freaking nuts. There's a lot of people that are really excited about it. People like the visual identity. People love the mechanical identity. And I think they're really bringing it home for this.
Releases are packed for this set. This set is bringing people in. And it just goes to show you that, I mean, Universes Beyond has been a lot of fun for people like me who like to see the design space be like a little bit more inspired by other things and whatnot. But man, people are craving Magic the Gathering for Magic the Gathering. And there's a lot of really cool things happening in this set that makes me feel like, okay, like Forum Necroscribe, which is like a 5/4 6-mana war, discard a card with Repartee Reanimate.
Oh, this card? Oh yeah, I saw this. Okay. Mikey, let's tie it into Smoking Mids for a second. I shared this card, and I can't remember if it was like Medusa. I don't think it was Quinn. Maybe it was the lovely Medusa being like, yeah, that card's okay. I'm like, hey, hold on. You're telling me your random targeted removal spell suddenly also becomes a reanimator spell? Like, come on. This card is kind of nuts.
Infernal Grasp.
This
Here's
card
the thing.
is...
I'm gonna Infernal Grasp your commander, and I'm gonna go ahead and get back Valgavoth from my graveyard. Thank you so much, and good night. Like I also like all the me. I don't like mess with instants and sorceries all that much, but I do have a handful of decks where I do. But the most important piece here is that like creatures are sorceries now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've got the prepared spells, and I'm all about it.
We got omens. We got adventures. Like we are reaching a critical threshold of this card. This creature can represent 2 different card types, whether that means it's somehow like part of its line of text.
Finally happening.
We got enchantment creatures. We got that can be auras. We got creatures that can be an equipment. We got creatures that can show up after going on an adventure, or maybe come back later after you shuffle them back in for being an omen. And now they're really like, all right, I am now prepared to just straight up cast channel for whatever goddamn reason that they're like, yeah, let's just go hog wild and put in like Demonic Tutor and Lightning Bolt and Path to Exile and all the classics.
Yeah. And you know what? While we're at it, fix the epic mechanic.
Okay, yeah. Wow. You know what? Do you just want to cast? Do you like casting one spell every turn? Yeah, let's just get like, I don't know, Sign in Blood, but it's 5 mana and you cast it every turn. And you can also target your opponents too. And you're like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll take it.
I'll take it. I am shocked that there isn't an archaic in every color, though. I really thought that they would make the wild growth archaic and like the red archaic. I thought they'd make one for blue and white and black, but
hey, but they only have so many spots, right? Like that's the other thing too.
Sure.
Think about it, like They went with the mystical archive, and that mystical archive is so stacked on top of what they're
It's
doing in the main set,
stupid.
right? Like, oh, let's just print Jessica and Achroma's will
Yeah, I know.
and Armageddon and like all this funky, cool, visually stunning stuff. Like, oh man, there's a lot. There's a lot in this set. There's a lot to get really excited about, man. It's good. Are we back? Are we back? We did it again. You know, like
we're so back.
We're so back.
Now we look forward to Marvel superheroes.
It's over. It's over, dude. No, I'm not that much of a downer, but man, we are eating good for the Lorwyn, for the people who like Warren. I'm kind of like, man, whatever. We're eating good, and we're back, and we're eating good.
And you know what? I played against a guy who just got into Magic not too long ago, and he like freaked out. I opened a special guest Magus of the Library.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Oh man, I wanted that. You know, that's crazy." And so his brother opened a Sylvan Library, and I opened in my like prize packs Magus of the Library, and he was like, damn, that'd be perfect. Like if I'd opened that and my brother opened the other one, then we could be like this." And I was like, "Hey man, how about you just have this and like you can tell your brother you opened it." He's like, "Well, I'm not gonna lie to him." I was like, "Yeah, well, you better just at least take it. Like it's just enjoy the little thing. I hope you like it, you know." And that was a fun little thing to open, but the art in this set is fantastic. The special guest art, literally every piece and special guests in this set is incredible. It's so good. The Japanese mystical archive is insane.
Oh
the English mystical archive is insane.
My buddy Joel, like he has some opinions about Universes Beyond, and we won't go into that. Shared Roots got a reprint. And dude, he's like, "Oh, I can get." He's like, "Did you see the Japanese version of the Mystical Archives of Shared Roots?" And I'm like, no. And I take a look at it. It is like a ridiculously gorgeous piece. Like we are eating good this set in every single conceivable way. I got reprints of a bunch of stuff. I'm picking them up today. Of like, hey, do you want a deflecting palm that people aren't going to be grossed out over because someone's knuckles aren't being broken and splitting out of their skin? And it's like, yeah, that deflecting palm is pretty cool looking. It's you know what I really like? I really like that they've got some stuff in here like Helping Hand that I can get in new art, or like that Prismatic Endings art is incredible. Yep. You know, there's so many things in this set that look fantastic. I am trying to think about the other stuff that I'm going to be grabbing, and I don't know. At first I was we got new Abrade. We got new Bulk Up.
Abrade, we got how novel.
Return the Favor. Stargaze. People should be playing more Stargaze.
I've got Stargaze in my pack and in my pre-release kit, and it's really
Duty
nice.
Beyond Death in foil. Like we just got that printed like last year, but oh man, hold on, let me check. Who is that?
Let me hit you with this. The new Sleight of Hand printing, Dominic Meyer.
Well, you just had to say Dominic Meyer, and that's all you need to freaking say.
Culling the Weak looks amazing. Like that's a really cool one. And then, but I think if I had to pick my favorite art in the Mystical Archive, oh God, it's so difficult to pick. Okay, I'm not ready for that pressure I just put on myself. I really like Bitter Triumph. I think that Children's Edict is fantastic. Yep. Living End, Smallpox. This might be one of those things that I kind of like go through the effort of collecting these, because I really think that the Mystical Archive is like, it's such an exemplary use of this bonus sheet where they're like, okay, this is where it's going to be. And one in every pack it used to be, right? One in every pack when they started it. And we're going to use the frame, and we're going to make sure that this stylistically lines up in a way that's like, it's more... it's less in the realm of like real, you know. It's like it's much more iconic in the sense of like it is there's no conflating this with the rest of the fantasy like art for the main set, you know what I mean?
They could take a creative liberty in a way that it's like it can stand out on its own past the confines,
and it has to stand out on its own. Like it's so good. I am so in on this set, and I'm shocked because I mean, I didn't care for the original Strixhaven all that much, but this one's been a lot of fun. I'm doing another pre-release tomorrow, and I'm very excited about it. And I think with that, on that note, I think we call it there. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we've yapped the Bolcuts off enough. You know, we did it. You know what we did?
Yes.
There's a thing maybe for me to just kind of close it out on. There's a thing I learned from my therapist
Oh,
called a sandwich when you're giving out these types of things, Mike.
sorry, Ken.
Sorry, Ken. This is very much a sandwich, sorry, Ken, episode where we started off with some fun banter. I spiked your blood pressure and mine with a story about a guy at a store where we had to sign a petition.
Joker.
And then we close it off with talk about magic because magic is pretty
bit of sugar on
cool.
both ends.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, baby. That's how it's fun. Look, what is this? The formula to the Bolcast, period, full stop? Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. It's time to scoot the day, but before we do, Cole, tell everybody where they can find you and what you want them to check out.
Okay. So I'm Cole. I go by the Bloodric Guy. If anyone else is stealing my identity, I don't know why. Have you seen what that card does? It's only made for me. So you can find me at the Bloodric Guy on Blue Sky. That's pretty much like my only social media thing. I'm probably in someone's Discord, so you probably see me around. But you know, I'm one half of the Heroes Blade Vibe Check radio show podcast. Where Empress Quinn and I are doing a bunch of funny, goofy shit. Sorry, Ken, for sometimes upwards to 3.5, just shy of 4 hours, 10-hour episode coming.
3 hour, 52 minutes episode, the last
3 hours and 52 minutes. We're slowly getting there. Quinn and I also do help hosting over on MTG Lexicon, the dive bar of EDH, streaming over on Twitch. We are part of like a huge streaming group of people. They've been doing it for like 10 years. Just this year, actually, near the end of the year, it's going to be 10 years properly this time, and not because I said it was. We're going to be playing Commander. It'll be way after the fact when this episode comes out, but we're probably going to be playing the pre-cons tonight, or most of us are going to try to, and we're going to be doing, no doubt, some Strixhaven stuff. Quinn's going to be playing whatever Strixhaven decks
that made that are already crazy.
Yeah. Brandon, the producers, say that he's going to be making a 5-color dragon deck to the absolute shock and surprise of literally no one. So that's every Saturday. We do some D&D stuff on some Fridays every once in a while, but we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, that's it. Go check out Heroes Blade Vibe Check. We have a lot of fun over there.
Make sure to check out Heroes Blade Vibe Check in the Lexicon. Everybody, Bolcuts, if you're listening this long, check out Cascade, and edhrec.com. That's where you can find both. That's where you can find my writing about magic.
I mean, I'm in the Discord.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, Cascade. It's a lot of really, really talented writers. Subscription-based model. We're doing a magazine. We're doing zine style. It's all issues, you know. And I've got a second piece lined up that I'm really excited for.
I'm waiting.
Along with my first one.
I'm waiting.
That people seem to really like. So check out Cascade. Check out amithebolas on edhrec.com. Shout out to Michael Celani, a.k.a. gamesfreaksa. Morgan Sanchez, a.k.a. Indigo Gentleman. Follow me on Blue Sky at Mike Carrozza, MikeCarrozza. Follow Am I the Bolcast on Blue Sky as well. On YouTube, too. Tell everybody you know about the podcast. Please make the number go up.
Tell everyone about the podcast so we can tell Ken sorry more times.
Yeah, there we go. Get Ken, the sorry quota goes up now. But yeah, let people know. And of course, you know, I do comedy. So keep an eye on my stuff for comedy stuff. Mainly going to be in Montreal for a little bit. Just for Laughs is coming up, and I hope to do more shows.
When are you? Please get that promo video out that you sent me, because that
pigeon
killed.
one?
Yes, that one
it's
killed
out there.
me.
It's already up there.
Okay.
It's on my Instagram.
Okay,
Instagram
that's probably why I'm not on Instagram.
It's up there. It's I did my hour last week, and to promote it, I called the new hour Pigeons, and I think that it's going to become Pope Pigeon because I got a lot of Pope material now.
Recent bits. Yeah, man.
It's gotten longer. I just ended up doing a set last night where I ended up riffing like 8 new minutes on the Pope. We'll see. We'll see.
It's all about the Mets, baby. or whatever his bid is. No, what
White
is he?
Sox.
White Sox. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not a sports guy.
So keep an eye on things and check out my comedy and my magic stuff. And also, thank you so much for listening, Bolcuts. We're going to scoot the friggin' day here, and I'm going to get prepared for my pre-release for tomorrow. And also, I'm going to message Watsy about that missing card from my pre-con, which I'm
Can't
not
believe it.
too upset about. I just kind of don't care, but it is one of those things that they owe me. Anyway, that'll do it. Later,
Scoot the day.
nerds. Scoot the day.
Okay, there we go.